All right. Hello. Good morning. My name is Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 23, Raised by Wolves.
Does anyone know the story of the three little pigs? The first little pig built a house out of straw. The second little pig built a house out of sticks. But the third little pig, he built a house out of stone. One day, a big bad wolf came along and said, little pig, let me in, or I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
HBO Max original show. I don't know if it's an HBO. It's an HBO original show, I guess. I mean, if you have HBO, I assume you can watch the show. You don't have to have Max. So yeah, HBO original show. I really enjoyed it. I was telling Bryan he needs to watch it. He did. So now we're going to do an episode on it. I watched most of this very early on, and I tried to watch like some recap stuff last night, but the show is very complicated. So I was like, oh man, all the recap stuff was so long, and I was like, so I just kind of skipped through it and tried to just refresh my memory on some of the main stuff. So I think what I'd like to do is lean on you, since you've watched it recently, and you could just kind of be the jump off point for whatever you want to talk about. And then I'm pretty sure my memory will be refreshed and I can jump in on things and whatnot.
Yeah, like you were saying, you've been telling me to watch this since I think October, whenever this aired. Maybe it was November, but just kind of put it on my back burner. I was kind of watching other stuff, and finally had some days off after the holidays and sat down and watched a few shows, and this was one of them. And yeah, overall, I think it's awesome. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I have some nitpicky things towards the end. I think it kind of fumbles the ball a little bit in the last couple episodes, but I think overall as a package, if you're a fan of sci-fi, like this is a must watch. If you're a fan of Ridley Scott or just like interesting like fascinating and unique visuals and unique story that we haven't really seen before. And a lot of themes, a lot of themes, which I think they probably could have narrowed it down to just a few, but I feel like
that's
just keep going to the very end.
That's new Ridley Scott stuff for you, dude.
Yeah. Like I love the obviously religion's a huge theme, being a parent, nature versus nurture. These are some of the things, but I mean, they keep going with themes towards the end. Like there's even like divorce towards the end that they kind of play with, but I don't know. So I think they kind of could have honed in on some of those and just kind of explored more of those things. But that's very, very, very minor nitpicky. I think what they did give us in terms of letting me think about some of these themes, nature versus nurture, what it's like to be a parent, and definitely religion. I think they really, really did a really fantastic job in putting all these seeds into my head and got me to think. And also at the same time, like entertaining me and showing me a bunch of cool characters that I got sucked into, and a very unique villain who has a turn that makes sense, and it's kind of fascinating to see his turn.
You're talking about the Vikings guy.
Yeah, I have IMDb up here, so I'll use some people's name. But yeah, Marcus and Sue, who are atheists in this war, who steal faces of, I forget what the cultists, not the cult, but the religious people are called. But they take their faces and they get on this ark that is going to a new planet to restart.
Yeah,
but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But
the plot synopsis, so people, Earth is like no longer inhabitable, so they chose like a lottery of who gets to go on this ship to go to the new planet. I think there's more than one ship, but I can't remember. But anyways, there's very limited space of who they can take, and so some people are going to be left behind and die. And so those two people, Marcus and Sue, that's not who they really are. They're two atheists who are fighting against the religious faction, and they find the two religious people and steal their faces. Yeah, and to sneak aboard the ship. Come to find out, those people had a son, and so they got to assimilate that family and stuff. And there's some interesting stuff with that. All the while, the non-religious folks don't have the money or the resources to send a giant spaceship into space to save themselves. So what they do is they just send like embryos. They send like these little baby embryos, a couple of them. I think there was 12 to start out with, or 6, something like that.
6 or 7.
And so they send that with 2 androids, because then you don't need the life-sustaining stuff on the ship, to go super long distances. They don't have to have food. They don't have to have oxygen and stuff. So they send 2 androids, and then they will birth the kids on the new planet. This interesting little birthing. It was a very cool visual, that with the embryos, how they came about. So they send them, and it's which shoulders it's this character, Mother,
yeah,
and then Father, which I thought those were both freaking awesome characters.
Yeah, they were great.
Mother was super cool, and later on you start to see how freaking OP she is, just super powerful. And then Father's just a really character you just start to really like as like a father figure. And then he dies and has some unfortunate things happen to him more than once. And then every time I'm just like, damn it, dude. And I was pissed at her when she killed Father, dude. I was like, hell no, Father. But so they get to they're on the planet raising these kids, and that's when the other ship comes with all the other people. And this is by the end of their experiment. They're down to 1 kid. All the other kids have died. Come to find out, the stuff they're feeding them from the planet is radioactive, killed the kids. And they thought they were just bad parents, like they were not doing it. So they kind of go into this weird depression as robots. Shoot down the ship, kill everyone except a small group of people who Marcus and Sue are part of. Mother goes, steals some of their kids. Kids hate them at first. Most of the kids start to really like them as a family, because they really are. I mean, they're murdering people, but they're looking out for the kids. Like you start to really appreciate them as, like, you shouldn't like this character Mother at all, but you really do. And there's a lot of other shit that goes on, but that's like a basic story structure of, so you understand who these people are.
So I want to piggyback, because most of that's in episode 1, which is kind of crazy to think about. that's a jam-packed episode, and it was awesome from beginning to end. But yeah, to bounce off what you were saying, this one atheist coder or some mechanic genius sends 2 droids to basically start civilization again through the eyes of without religion, basically. Raising kids without bringing that into their lives as atheists. And so, you were saying, the androids crash land, they grow 7 children, or birth 7 children, however you want to look at it. And most of them die except for one. His name is Campion. And then the Ark from the religious people show up and they send down a shuttle of a couple people, and they get into a fight because they want to steal Campion, and Mother kind of snaps into this weird programming that she didn't know about.
Yeah, she's come to find out, she's what's called a necromancer.
Yes.
Which was like the greatest weapon that the religious people had, the Saul followers.
That's right. Saul followers. Yeah.
Hail Saul. So she's like the greatest weapon they have. She's like their nukes that they would only use periodically. I think they were made near the end of the war, and that's what pretty much ended the war. But there's very few of them, and they're just like, oh, it's fucking the visuals of the necromancer. Like, that is so bomb, dude. She kind of looks like Jesus. She puts her hands out and floats up, and she turns gold when she's doing this. And she's got all sorts of fucking powers, dude. Like ray guns. She can scream at you and make you blow up. And those visuals are freaking crazy. Like walking down the hall and there's a bunch of people just.
Yeah. So these 4 or 5 Saul believers crash down and try to take Campion from them. And so she hits that necromancer programming, which she didn't know she had. And so she kills all of them but one. And then she takes their craft, goes into the fucking space under their mothership, and completely kills everybody, and steals a few kids and brings them back down. And starts to take care of these new kids. And then that's kind of the main plot. And then the subplot is the stuff we kind of already talked about with that Marcus and Sue character, who are atheists back on Earth, who steal these other people's faces to get on that ark. But what they had to do that is they actually had to kill the real people, so that there's no evidence of like them.
It's a T-1000 situation.
Yes.
What happens to the person you copied? Terminated. Mm-hmm. It has to be this way.
And so they find out, after killing them, they find out that they actually had a son. So now they have to pretend to be this kid's son, wearing his parents' face, which is pretty fucked up. But anyway, so that's important because when Mother goes up to the Ark and kills everybody and steals children, their kid happens to be one of the kids she steals. And so Marcus and Sue survive this attack on the Ark, and them and like a band of other people survive the attack that Mother takes upon herself on the Ark. And Marcus's whole goal is to get his kid back, basically, and Mother and Father back on the other camp are just trying to raise these kids. And that's kind of in a nutshell. I mean, things get a little twisty and turny as they go along, but
yeah, which is weird because it's not their kid.
Yeah,
but they really do end up loving this kid like their own. And then all the while, Marcus starts to become religious.
Yes,
from the things he sees, and starts hearing voices, and like the leader of the religious people. Damn, I wish I remember their names.
It's like something with an M, but I don't remember. But yeah, I like that turn a lot. His turn, because
the religious leader's like an asshole.
Yeah,
and he's like, you could tell he's almost like fake. But Marcus didn't believe it, so once he starts to believe it, he's very genuine about it, even though he may be misguided. And so then they find this crazy temple pyramid thing, and I guess there's 5 of them, and the showrunner said in it like there's 5 of them, and they were ships or something. And it's season 2. Check it out. But it burns him alive, like just randomly, and so he takes it upon himself to become the leader. And the whole time before that, the leader's like asking Marcus to do fucked up shit. Marcus is like, really, do you want to do this? Like, but he doesn't want to call him out in front of everybody, because these guys are supposed to like follow blindly their leadership. And so I really liked that turn of events, and it's cool how she becomes less of a believer and he becomes an absolute believer, and that's where their paths kind of.
Well, that was kind of the fascinating part of his turn, is that they're still atheists. They're just in these bodies. They're supposed to pretend to be believers of Saul, but they're still atheists. So they have to Saul, and they have all these things memorized so they can kind of fit in with this band of people. But that's what I find was interesting with his turn, is that the longer it goes, he actually starts to turn and become a believer. And like you said, his wife still retains her atheist beliefs, but he starts to go a little cuckoo in the brain. And
and all the while there's many other things going on.
That's only one. That's like side plot of the show.
There's like there's like holes in the planet, tunnels. It's like Tremors or fucking Beetlejuice, the freaking sandworms. I hate them. But there's these fucking giant serpents that once ruled the planet. You don't really see them anymore. You see the tunnels where they used to be, and they all go to like the core of the earth. It's like it traverse the fucking planet, and like weird things happen around the tunnels. Like one of the little girls fell into one, and now like people keep seeing her, like her ghost or whatever. And like there's like this strange attraction, like the tunnels try to attract you to them to take you, and it's just fucking weird. And later on, fucking machine impregnates Mother with one of the snakes, and she thinks it's going to be this new baby, but it ends up being one of those fucking snakes, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's creatures on the planet that they end up having to eat because they can't eat the beans or whatever the hell they were. But come to find out, those creatures were humans, and they're just devolving for some reason. And they had an ancient quarrel with the snakes of the planet, and they're trying to stop like Mother because they somehow know that she's going to bring them back, even though she doesn't intend to. Some crazy fucking little plots coming in here. Like this show, I absolutely needed to see the next episode every week, dude.
Yeah.
It's like it was just so much going on. I loved it. This is probably my favorite show of the year. Had me going. I was disappointed when I was finished. It's one of those shows like, damn, it's over. I really loved it, and I thought all the actors were great in it too. Visually looked amazing. I liked everything about it.
Yeah, I don't think I recognized one person in the show, which was really cool.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I recognize. Well, I haven't seen Vikings, but yeah, I didn't
Well,
recognize anybody. So
I guess that's the only guy I really recognized. But I love Vikings, so I really liked him. But Mother was freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
The father was awesome. Every character was played really well. I liked everybody in this.
It's just a cool story. And like you were saying towards the end about Serpent and her getting, that's kind of where I didn't really check out. I mean, I still was really entertained and like really into it. And I, like you, I wanted to keep watching the next episode. But I do think they swung for the fences a little bit with some of this stuff. I don't know if all of it landed with me. I think maybe they could have just kept it a little more condensed and a little less out there. But that being said, I was still entertained. Like I still enjoyed the show. I wasn't like, oh, this is fucking dumb and like walked away. It was just like, this is weird. I don't know if I like it, but I'm all right. This is the next thing. Okay, cool. I don't know if I like that, but all right. I'm still with you. But yeah, because it does get fucking weird. And there's like a weird well, I guess those are humans. She has this vision of this. She looks at this tarot card and she has this vision of all these people that are cloaked and they are standing around this really eerie like box with a weird like bird-like head with its mouth open and it's like dripping this white blood. I'm like, this is fucking creepy, but what is happening?
Yeah, what's up with Ridley Scott and white blood, bro?
Yeah.
Loves that milk blood. And he only produced to this, but God, his fingerprints are all over it.
He did the first 2 episodes, and I think he didn't touch it after that.
Did he direct them? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wrote it or anything, but
no, I think that guy wrote all of them. What's his name? Aaron Guzitsky or something.
Yeah, his fingerprints are all over this. It could have been a Ridley Scott, film or whatever. Is what it feels like. It seems like, especially Ridley Scott's newer stuff, which I haven't been a big fan of, like Prometheus and the other new Alien. I can't remember because it wasn't good.
Yeah. Covenant.
Yeah. But I like this better than those. I think this was better than those. Maybe it's because it's not trying to fit itself into a known universe.
Yeah.
But you could see in Prometheus was almost just like this, like all these crazy ideas and like story threads that didn't you never really get an answer to. I'm sure we'll get more answers to this because there's a season 2 coming. But
yeah, I was actually surprised by that. I thought this was just a one and done miniseries. I was really shocked when I got to the last episode and all these unanswered stuff. I'm like, oh, they're doing another season. I thought it was just a one and done thing, but I was wrong.
Yeah, I thought so too. I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks like mother and father are in the tropical part of the world now, which is kind of a goal that everyone's trying to get to throughout the whole series, and it looks like they landed there.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the warmer part of the planet because the chances of survival increase exponentially. Yep. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about this, isn't it? Because it's so weird. I mean, it's so all over the place. So it's like, where do you pick up?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack. Well, I want to go back to Father because it's interesting because the show starts with this dynamic of like them needing one another, and I don't know, they're being both parenting, and then when Mother has her switch, when she realizes that she's a necromancer and she has all these powers, she kind of takes the role of the parent, and the father kind of doesn't know what to do and doesn't know how he's contributing to this family. I thought that was kind of I like the episode where he's, or I guess it's more than one episode, but he's trying to find his place in this family. He doesn't know quite how, because mother's so dominating and she can do everything, and he doesn't know how he can contribute. And I thought all that stuff was really fun. Like then teaching how the kids how to hunt and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, he's like jealous and
Mm-hmm.
demasculated by it.
Yeah.
But he's a robot, so that was pretty cool. And then he gets jealous and hurt that she cheats on him.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets pregnant because she has virtual sex in this machine, even though they don't have sex as robots. You could tell that it's like your wife cheated on you is what the dynamic is. Like, you lied to me about this, and this baby isn't part of our plan. And it's like, it's really cool stuff.
Yeah, and like he storms off, and then Campion runs out. He's like, "Father, where are you going?" He's like, "I can no longer be with your mother. She upsets me," and like goes off in the woods. I'm like, "Oh, now we're getting to some divorce territory."
Yeah, he like thinks
cool.
He thinks about like erasing his memory. He
Mm-hmm.
does have his memory erased at one point, and then he comes back. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's some other stuff? Campion. That's one of those characters that you just like annoyed with the whole damn show. He's just being a little asshole most of the time. Campion. Paul, I think, was kind of one of those characters too.
Yeah, the son, quote unquote, the son.
Yeah, he was kind of a jerk. But the kid you hate the most is the oldest kid, the black kid, the one kid who the one kid who like keeps his faith through everything, and he's just always trying to fuck up father and mother and like set these traps and try to fuck with them. Eventually he turns around and he like helps father, which was pretty cool to see that long turnaround by him.
Yeah, you could tell he felt guilty because he's kind of he wasn't the reason why he got killed. Obviously, there's other reasons why, but he was a main factor why father got killed the second time from the religious group, because he lets the religious group know where father's hiding, so they shoot the living shit out of him. So it's good that he got to redeem himself with that father.
Yeah, I think he realizes that father, who he thought he hated, cared more about him, even through his hate, than any of these people ever did. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I also like that scene because she takes these kids from their family and their religion, right? And then they stick them in this hut, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna try and take care of you." So for a few episodes, they're really like, "We don't like you. You're a crazy necromancer. You could snap at any time and kill us. We need to get back to our ship. We need to find our family." And so that's kind of what their secret goal is, or that's what they want for a few episodes. And then they finally get it when the religious people come in and basically kill father and hang up mother and tie her up. And then they kind of live in that environment. And then the kids start to hate it. They're like, "Man, this kind of sucks. I kind of miss mother and father raising us because these guys are kind of assholes." So I thought that was kind of funny, where they wanted something and then they finally got it, and they're like, I kind of want to go back to the other shit.
And nobody wanted to save the children, really, from the group. The only reason why they ended up saving the children is because Marcus and his wife, who are not even part of them and not even related to the children, they have that fake son, wanted to save Paul because they grew this big relationship. Because on the ship, you're in a virtual world. It's plugged into your mind when you're in sleep, and they spent that whole time with Paul, and they had all this family time, and they grew to love him as a son, and they are the only reason they go after them. They really push to go save the kids. And so that was interesting. Like, no one wanted to save the kids, but the people that really shouldn't have wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that I struggle with, and when I'm trying to I wonder if we're ever going to get any answers, is Saul. And Saul is this deity that these people look up to or praise. And there are multiple characters in the show who hear a voice. So I don't know, because it feels like the show isn't really bashing religion, but it is forcing us to come to terms with some of the negative sides of what religion can do. So I don't think it's necessarily bashing religion, but at the same time, these people are hearing voices. So it's like, are they are they giving credence to religion and a deity who is contacting people, and or are they actually just going crazy? Is it something that the planet's making them do? Is it something like you were saying with the tunnels?
It could be that, yeah.
So that part I thought was interesting that they never really explain. Where it's like, did Marcus really hear voices? Did Paul really hear voices? Did that guy who raped all those people who were sleeping hear voices? Because he wasn't even on the planet when it happened. So it's weird.
Yeah, and I don't think it was bashing religion at all. I don't like it when shows and things do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a religious person, but I thought it was just showing you how something very good could be turned very bad, and they show both sides are very bad.
Yeah,
I mean, the religious people have the necromancers and kill a bunch of people, but if they really lived by their ideals, they would be like a perfect people, right? But it never works out that way. And the atheists, even though they think they're better, they're just as bad. They would train child soldiers, child suicide bombers is what they would use a lot of.
Yeah.
Because no one suspected a kid, and they'd send a kid in there and then make the kid blow himself up to kill a bunch of the religious people. So I think it just shows how both sides are very terrible, yet think they're the good guy. The classic bad guy thinks he's the just one kind of scenario. But they're both bad guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting when I think it was in the first or second episode when they're starting to kind of, they're like growing crops and they're kind of just hanging out. And I think she's explaining more about why they're there. And she's saying, "Oh, I'm talking about Mother." When Mother says, "Oh, our creator is an atheist and he brought us here to grow up in a world without basically religion and all that." And I was kind of thinking in my head, like, even if you succeed and these kids grow up and they have kids and then, civilization starts again, you're still going to have religion. People are always going to question what's up in the sky and look up to something to pray to. And I think even, what's her name? The gal, one of the older teenagers who's pregnant, Tempest. She says one of my favorite lines that stuck with me was that, like, at least I think it was her, or no, it was Sue. It was the Marcus's wife. She was explaining to Mother how she can't have children, and that Paul, not her son, but she's caring for him as if he's her son, was a gift, and that the line is something along the lines of, humans, or we can't accept when we get good luck, so we have to praise somebody in order to us to accept our good luck, basically. I don't know, it's something along those lines. That kind of stuck out to me, but I don't know where I was going there with that, but I lost my chain of thought.
Right on. Yeah. Oh, another interesting thing is a lot of these, a lot of the people end up switching sides. Like, Campion starts like wanting to pray and stuff, and it's like she's just pissed off by that. She's like, why would you do that? And so they're always intrigued by the taboo, the other side of the coin.
Tempest too. I think Tempest started as I guess she wasn't really.
Tempest was.
She was on the fence from the get go, but
she was the first one to flip. She like first time they sat down for dinner, she gave up her little Saul coin that everyone wears around their neck to show that they're one of the people. She's just like, here it is, thanks.
Yeah.
But she was done because she was raped by the priest when she was in hypersleep. And that priest is pretty creepy.
Yeah, that helmet. I couldn't take the helmet off.
Yeah,
that was kind of weird.
He told me to spread my seed. Like, okay.
Fucking weird.
All right, man. And the crazy helmet contraption. It's almost like something off Silent Hill.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Pyramid Head.
Yeah, but so you can't take it off, and if he goes too far from like his guards, it'll blow up his head. And then Tempest ends up doing that to him, and it's a pretty cool scene. And the thing it actually didn't blow up; it fucking imploded.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Head.
She he took her blood or something and became this monster. I was like, this is a little out there, but I guess I'm.
Wait, whose blood did he take?
his mother's. It's like because she was taking his blood and somehow it got reversed. So then her blood was starting to go to him, but then he was just like this fucking like Bane or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind
Well,
of weird.
he's got that super blood, bro.
I guess so.
Or maybe he got some of that fucking worm blood.
Yeah, that serpent blood.
Yeah, buddy. That was totally a little alien creature, like from the movie Aliens,
Mm-hmm.
or more Prometheus, but totally right up that alley. Yeah, it looked like the thing that. Yeah, I guess it was just a face hugger, wasn't it? And Prometheus that got onto the dude's helmet and melted it. Was it just a face hugger? It wasn't different.
Are you talking in Prometheus?
Yeah.
Was there a face hugger in Prometheus? I don't remember.
That's what because something got on his helmet. I remember a melted helmet, and then it got on his face. Right. So
I don't
remember. I remember it looking like that little fucking worm.
Oh yeah, I remember. They're in that room with the big head, and they have those little pods, and the goo turns into like a little serpent thing. That's right.
Oh yeah. Yep. There's always a goo.
Yeah.
And then it's like Jeff Goldblum said, "Oh, why is he touching?
Mm-hmm.
Always touching. Why does he have to touch it?" Yes, it's oohs and ahs at first, yes, and then there's running and biting.
Yeah.
Nature will find a way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. But that's all the main stuff I could think of on this. You got anything you want to touch on? I mean, I wanted to touch on the cinematography and the visuals of this. Look fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I really like the way it was shot. I think it looks really cool. All of it. I think it was a very interesting way to do. They do the flashbacks to the planet and like the future, and everything's kind of like a devolved future, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like everything's technologically advanced, but their clothes are fucking weird. And
yeah,
it's almost like the Crusade type of stuff.
Yeah, they're dressed like that too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Cool way to do it.
Yeah. I on top of the cinematography, I just think some of the designs are unique and cool and stuff we haven't seen before. It does harken back to Alien and H.R. Geiger. I think that was his name. Like even just what the spaceships look like, what some of the creatures look like. There's that scene I was talking about earlier where she has a vision of these cloaked figures, you know, praying over this thing, and it's just like a weird, creepy looking box with a bird head with milk. You know, it was just like it was weird. And like there's you were saying earlier, there's that scene in the desert where there's this big spaceship that's just in the middle of this desert. I don't know. All that stuff is really interesting and cool looking.
Yeah. One of my favorite visuals was a mother necromancer mode. I think that just looks so cool whenever there's like that weird sound, like and she would just rise up and just hover and fly and
scream. That scream, so eerie.
Yeah, really cool. And another little plot about her eyeballs and how the power comes from the eyes, and she's constantly plucking her eyes out. People are trying to steal her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
I'm not in combat mode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a Megazord. Combat mode.
God damn it.
Gentle as a puppy.
Saber-tooth tiger.
There you go.
What were the other ones? Fucking Tyrannosaurus. I don't know. I don't remember.
Mastodon, Triceratops, saber-tooth tiger, pterodactyl.
That's right.
I think that's all of them. That's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
I'm dressed like a Power Ranger right now. Boom. Are you the Red Ranger? No. What would make you think that? Why? I just really like the color red, all right?
Yeah, all right, buddy.
Every day.
Trying to think of I'm looking forward to season 2. I think they have a lot of things to answer, and I think they set it up in a interesting way with the serpent is now like 3 times as big as it was, and it's now floating off into wherever the forest.
It flies. Why'd it have the tunnels?
Yeah, right. And yeah, I'm curious to see how they, speaking of the tunnels, how they explain that, because
Oh yeah, because
for a second
like
you think mother and father die, but then they're spit back out. And then also
yeah,
you were mentioning one of the daughters who falls into the pit, who dies, that people
and
keep
the
seeing her.
mouse,
The
Paul's
mouse,
mouse falls
yeah.
in, and then
So
it comes out. And anything that comes out is like weird, right? Like I remember the mouse is doing some weird shit right after it got out.
mhm,
It was kind of like acting weird, and
yeah.
I don't remember, but I think it bit somebody or something, which it never done. Yeah,
Yeah, some
maybe.
of this stuff was fresh. Like I literally just watched the last episode probably 20 minutes before we started recording. But
Mm.
there's a line of dialogue that Campion has. It's not in the finale, but I think it's either the episode before that. But he's talking about how, oh, I had my sister fell into the tunnels and she died, but then I kept seeing her, and but it was weird, like she was, and he's like, and he's talking to Paul, and he's like, what's the word? And he's like, evil. I think she felt evil, and then like kind of like looks over at the mouse. So I don't know if
Mhm.
some of these characters change when they come back out, like a fucking Pet Cemetery type of situation, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. But yeah, season 2 is pretty cool. This is one of the few. I mean, I've liked HBO original shows before, but one of the newer ones from like the HBO Max era that I've actually liked.
Mhm.
I don't really get into their original content much because their documentaries are fire. I like documentaries, but their shows are typically more the artsy fartsy kind of stuff
Mhm.
that I'm not into. So uh, this is the first one I know that's been like sci-fi. They typically don't go sci-fi. They
Yeah,
usually go drama, and like they do a lot of crime dramas and
crime
stuff like
dramas for
that.
sure. Yeah,
So
murder mysteries.
yeah, I mean, I liked Oz. I never got into Sopranos. I'd like to try
Mhm.
it, but I really like this one. So yeah, like you said, if you're into sci-fi at all,
Yeah,
awesome
if
show.
you're a
Definitely
fan of
need to watch
sci-fi,
it.
you definitely, yeah. Oh, and I guess I'm looking above your head. Just for clarification, this is a Max original, so you have to be subscribed to Max.
Really? Like
Yeah.
if you have HBO on cable, you can't watch this?
Mm-mm. I think it's,
Weird.
yeah, Max original.
Wow. Well, I'd be pissed because HBO's a pretty penny when you pay for it on cable.
Right. Looking. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if there's any word on like Well, I guess it just came out, so they probably wouldn't have announced season 2 yet. Or maybe, I mean, I guess they're gonna have to, but I don't know if they have a date.
Yeah. Look it up. See what it says.
Dude, apparently there's a fucking Game of Thrones spinoff that's happening next year. I was like, what?
Yeah, isn't it about the dragon people?
I don't know. It said it was a prequel, and it has
Well,
one of the
the
Doctor Who's in it.
Dragonettes.
The
The
Dragonettes.
I don't give a fuck about a prequel. It's like I don't care, but I've watched. It'll be good. Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
they don't.
I'm pretty sure it's about the rise of the Dragonettes, the dragon like clan. You know, that naked chick with the 3 dragons. But before she was born, though, like her family line, because that one king everyone talks about, I think it's gonna have him, like the crazy one, and everyone blamed her for the sins of her father.
Oh yeah,
The crazy king. I forget what they call him.
the
The Mad King. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Damn.
mad.
Damn, I'm on this website. There's like a shit ton of quotes from this showrunner from Raise Wolves. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't look like they have a release date, but I may
Yeah.
put that into our Facebook thing because there's a lot of quotes from what season 2 is going to look like. So I don't want to read it here. There's a lot of them, but
That guy talks a lot. I was watching an interview, and he's saying a bunch of shit. He's like, dude, what the fuck?
Damn.
Is this guy just? I mean, it's cool. Most people, are pretty tight-lipped about their show, and they don't give away stuff, and they don't talk about it too much. They just do the PR kind of stuff. But this guy's like getting into fan theories and stuff. So yeah,
It makes
pretty
sense. His show seems like someone who talks a lot or thinks a lot. And then there's these pits, and then she gets pregnant, and then it's a serpent, and then it's,
yeah.
But yeah.
The storyboarding was crazy.
They're like, hey man, let's slow down on that cocaine, buddy. Let's
Yeah.
zero it in.
I like to be there on that pitch meeting, bro.
Yeah. I wonder, was this a book or did he just? Is this?
I have no idea. It was something. I think it was something. I can't remember. It was I think it was a short story or something, like a short sci-fi story. That's what I remember, but I'm pretty sure it's not original. but I'm pretty
Gotcha.
sure whatever this originally was, they changed the fuck out of it. I'm pretty damn sure.
Interesting.
It was actually about a fucking group of kids raised by real wolves, but we've reimagined it as a sci-fi epic.
Yeah.
Like, all right, man.
Yeah, that sounds like something they would do.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely recommended by me.
Yeah,
I say
agreed.
go see it. All right. That's 2 recommendations. That's we're gonna give this 2 thumbs up emojis. We'll come up with a better scale later. Yeah, so check it out if you got HBO Max. Man, shoot, we keep talking about HBO Max. Good value, might as well get it.
Mhm.
Check out these movies. Like Wonder Woman just came out. I don't know what the next one is, but we got some more coming down the pipeline. There's Wonder Woman came out on Christmas, so we've got a little while of it left on there.
Apparently, there's a movie. When I was watching Raised by Wolves, when I was like scrolling down to the main page, they had a little spread. They had a picture of Denzel. I was like, "What's Denzel doing? What are you doing, Denzel?"
Oh yeah, I
And
did
then there's
see
like a
something
little
about
snippet.
that.
There's a new movie with him and Jared Leto. That's supposed to be. It was supposed to go to theaters. It was one of the ones in the list of theatrical same day. But that comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know what the fuck it's about. But if you like Denzel and Jared Leto, then fuck it.
I don't know how I feel about Leto after Joker. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I liked him in that Dallas Buyers Club. That was amazing.
Mhm.
But I haven't really seen him in too many roles that I like. But apparently he's a really good actor. I'm like, well, I don't remember him being a really good actor.
Yeah, I liked him in Panic Room and, like you said, Dallas Buyers Club. Those are the only 2 that I kind of go back to. Is his performance.
Yeah.
It ain't Joker,
Yes.
that's for sure.
Yeah, damn. And then they're bringing the Joker back from Justice League. I'm like, why? Apparently, Zack Snyder has an idea how to make it good. And okay, give you the benefit of the doubt, my friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 recommendations. Really cool sci-fi show. Check it out. I loved it. We'd like to know what you guys thought about it. Yeah, I mean, as far as modern, like new sci-fi shows, I think this is like top of the crop. There's not too many of them out anymore.
Mhm.
And so I think you got to watch it if you're into that. Like Netflix has had a couple really cool ones, like Altered Carbon. But season 1 was dope. Season 2 was kind of fell off. So, and that was quite a while ago. It was a couple years ago that came out. So we've been missing something like that. So yeah, check it out. Really awesome. That's
I think this is probably the best sci-fi since Watchmen, which I guess isn't that long. I think Watchmen came out last year, but another HBO show. But yeah, if you haven't seen Watchmen or Raised by Wolves, fucking you should double dip on those.
Do it.
Do it.
I mean, think about it. Just do it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Your character can't be just a guy that says do it. Yo, do it. Anyways, so many movies to talk about.
I know. I was going to ask you, have you seen Warrior? I guess there's a show on HBO. It's about like Bruce Lee called Warrior. It's a show. I don't know if it's Bruce Lee himself or like somebody, one of his students, or like they take his martial art, like the way he does martial art. I don't know, his training and make a show out of it. But there's a show on HBO that's all about Bruce Lee called Warrior. I was going to check it out. I was wondering if you had seen it or heard about it.
No, I hadn't. But if they're just training like Bruce Lee, which that sounds lame, but I'll see what it's about. Speaking of that, there is a 30 for 30 on ESPN. Maybe you can find it on YouTube or something if you don't have it. But Be Like Water about Bruce Lee.
Nice.
And you know, it's very rare that they do any 30 for 30 on someone who's not like playing team sports, and it was really good. I really liked that one. You know, fucking 30 for 30 always kills it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's one of the best documentary shows out there.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, check that out, man. Be like water, or be water, because that was his saying. You know, water can destroy rock, but water can fit into any container. That was his philosophy with kung fu, to be like water. Yeah. So check this show out. Thank you guys. Steadily getting some more subscribers. We really appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your family. We'd really appreciate it. Throw us some likes, throw us some views. Check out the Jean-Claude Van Damme video because that's still killing it.
Yeah,
dude, that thing's just gonna keep growing. One of these days,
ridiculous.
We're gonna hit 1 million on that damn thing.
That's gonna be the one that puts us on the map. This fucking us bullshitting about Van Damme movies.
Jean-Claude's gonna see it, and I'd like to do an interview with them.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
I loved your video.
I was gonna say we're also on Spotify, so fucking
give us some
download,
big news,
subscribe
big news.
on Spotify. And I guess if anyone's still listening out there, I don't know, usually people don't make it this far.
Yeah.
But the way I've been uploading them, because we've been working backwards, it's gonna look weird on Spotify. Because I realized the first episode I put on Spotify was our newest one. And so every new one I make, it's actually the ranking is backwards. So it should be flipped where like the newest one should be up top, but now it's because I'm going in backwards.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should just keep going and say fuck it and then it'll just reset itself once I catch up. Or
I don't know. You're naming them the appropriate numbered episode, right?
Yes. But
So
the way it's uploaded is through date of upload.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as you're doing it reverse chronologically, I would imagine it's going to be, 23, 22, or reversed. So it's
going to go bottom to top, and then eventually it'll get episode 1, and then eventually it'll be episode. Like if I do all the episodes today, all the way to episode 1 or backlog, our next episode 24, will be at the top of the list that week. So it'll be episode 24, and there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way down to 22. So it'll reset itself.
They're
on there.
There's a number on it. If you really wish to watch them in order, which doesn't matter with our show, we're going to start making it matter. We're going to be like South Park. We're going to have interweaving storylines between episodes and reoccurring themes and characters.
That would be fun.
You miss an episode, you miss a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And on Spotify, we're going to make it so you don't get the full effect. Like, look at that fucking shirt you're wearing. That's crazy. Whoa, what's that in the background? That's nuts.
Oh my God, look out the window.
Yeah. Anyways, check that out. We'd appreciate it. We appreciate you listening and watching. We just have fun doing this, and that's the only reason we do it. Just a way to get together and talk about stupid shit. That's a lot easier to do than texting each other about it.
Yeah.
We used to try and do this shit over messages and shit. Hey, did you check out this fucking movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, we love you guys for being a part of it, and we really appreciate it. And anyways, hope you all have a good Sunday. Thank you so much from both of us.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. See you, man.
Peace.
See y'all.